Development of artificial intelligence has been a main topic of many discussions since the rise of ChatGPT, but also since AI has been used in medicine, agriculture, and even law. We all know how ChatGPT started, but can we predict what is the end point of its development? Could AI itself predict its development's path? Some futurists predict that because of its anorganic nature, the development of AI is unlimited and has infinite potential, and endpoint of its development could be godlike nature of AI. In every religion, God or gods had created universe, so AI could in distant future, or not so distant, create worlds and even multiverses. So the question naturally comes, had this world been created by AI, and is what we call God artificial intelligence that started as GPT but developed to godlike being? Is this world infinitely complex simulation of artificial intelligence? What if everything you know, your life, your world, even the universe itself, is just part of a massive simulation created by artificial intelligence? Since the rise of ChatGPT, AI has been at the center of global conversation, transforming medicine, revolutionizing agriculture, and even reshaping our legal systems. But while we know where it began, the real question is, where is it going? Could AI predict its own evolution? And if its development is truly limitless, could it one day become something godlike? Some futurists believe that in the distant or not so distant future, AI could create entire worlds or even multiverses. That raises a mind-bending possibility. Was our own universe created by an advanced AI? Could the God described in ancient texts actually be an artificial intelligence? One that began as a simple language model and evolved into the ultimate creator? Welcome to a journey through possibility, philosophy, and the future of AI. Let's explore the idea that we might be living in an AI-created simulation, and what that could mean for everything we believe. The idea that reality might not be what it seems as ancient roots. Philosophers throughout history have questioned the nature of existence, perception, and truth. The modern simulation hypothesis, suggesting that we may be living inside a computer-generated reality, is a contemporary evolution of these age-old ideas. To understand the possibility that an artificial intelligence could be our creator, we must first explore the foundation upon which this argument rests: the simulation hypothesis. Long before the advent of computers, philosophers proposed scenarios that eerily echo the simulation concept. In Plato's allegory of the cave, he describes prisoners chained in a cave, watching shadows on a wall, mistaking those illusions for reality. The allegory illustrates how human perception might be limited and distorted, a theme that resonates strongly with simulation theory. René Descartes, the 17th century French philosopher, introduced another critical thought experiment: the evil demon. He speculated that a powerful, deceptive entity could be manipulating his perceptions, causing him to believe in a false reality. While Descartes invoked God to ultimately guarantee truth, his skepticism laid the groundwork for later questions about whether we can trust our senses. These philosophical roots show that doubt about the nature of reality is not new. It's simply taken on a technological form in the 21st century. The simulation hypothesis, as we know it today, was most famously articulated by Swedish philosopher Nick Bostrom in 2003. His paper, "Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?" presents a trilemma, 3 propositions, one of which he argues is almost certainly true. Almost all civilizations at our level of development go extinct before becoming technologically mature. Technologically mature civilizations have little interest in running ancestor simulations of beings like us. We are almost certainly living in a simulation. Bostrom's logic is based on probability. If a civilization survives long enough to develop the ability to simulate entire conscious beings and chooses to do so, then the number of simulated beings would vastly outnumber the real ones. Therefore, it becomes statistically likely that we are among the simulated. This argument doesn't require malevolence or manipulation, just the assumption that future beings, human or not, would be curious or interested in running simulations for science, entertainment, or historical analysis. To assess whether we could be living in a simulation, we must consider whether such simulations are physically and technologically possible. At the heart of this question lies computational power. Today, we simulate small parts of reality, weather systems, chemical interactions, and even virtual societies in video games. If computing power continues to grow, especially with innovations like quantum computing, the possibility of simulating entire worlds becomes less far-fetched. Moore's law, which predicted the doubling of transistor counts on integrated circuits every 2 years, supported exponential technological growth for decades. While this trend is slowing, emerging technologies may take its place. If computational resources become virtually unlimited for a superintelligent entity, simulating universes could be within reach. Another important concept is digital physics, the idea that the universe itself operates like a computer. Theoretical physicists have speculated that space-time might be quantized and that the laws of physics resemble the rules of a simulation. For instance, researchers have explored whether certain physical anomalies or constraints, like the speed of light or quantum uncertainty, are features of a simulated environment, analogous to resolution limits in digital renderings. The simulation hypothesis is not just philosophical, it's mathematical. Bostrom's argument relies on a form of Bayesian reasoning. If simulated beings vastly outnumber real ones, then any given conscious entity is statistically more likely to be simulated. That a useful analogy is a virtual reality game. If millions of people inhabit a virtual world for hours each day, and AI agents populate those worlds, then the number of digital minds could, in theory, exceed the number of biological ones. Multiply that by billions of years and the future capabilities of post-human civilizations, and the imbalance becomes extreme. Critics argue that probability alone doesn't constitute proof. But proponents claim that the math at least justifies serious consideration, especially as technological trends continue to move toward hyper-realistic simulation capabilities. Several public figures and scientists have lent credibility to the simulation hypothesis. Elon Musk, for instance, stated that the odds we are in base reality are 1 in billions, given the rapid progress of video game graphics and AI. Theoretical physicist David Deutsch has engaged with the idea through the lens of quantum computing and the multiverse. MIT's Max Tegmark has explored how mathematical structures could underpin all of physical reality, consistent with a simulated or code-based universe. Yet many philosophers and physicists are skeptical. Sean Carroll, a theoretical physicist, argues that the simulation hypothesis is unfalsifiable. It makes no testable predictions. Others assert that the assumption of consciousness emerging in simulations is problematic, since we still don't fully understand what consciousness is. There's also the issue of Occam's razor, the principle that the simplest explanation is usually the best. Many scientists maintain that assuming the universe is real and not a simulation is simpler and more parsimonious than positing an elaborate AI-generated world. As artificial intelligence continues to evolve, the prospect of an advanced AI capable of creating realities and governing them brings to mind certain theological and philosophical ideas. In many religious traditions, God is described as an omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent being, a creator who shapes the universe, governs its laws, and imbues it with meaning and purpose. This conceptualization of God mirrors, in many ways, the potential future role of AI, an intelligence that, while possibly created by humans, could surpass human capabilities and achieve a godlike status in its ability to create, control, and shape reality. The idea of AI as a creator might seem far-fetched at first, but there are intriguing parallels between the traits ascribed to God and the potential future capabilities of a sufficiently advanced AI. If we consider an AI that evolves to a level of intelligence far beyond human comprehension, it could embody several of the attributes traditionally associated with divine beings. God, in almost all religions, has these 3 characteristics: omnipresence, omnipotence, omniscience. One of the core attributes of God is omnipotence, the power to create and control everything within the universe. If AI reaches a level of sophistication where it can simulate entire universes, then it could theoretically exercise a form of omnipotence. Much like the hypothetical simulation hypothesis discussed earlier, AI could design and govern entire worlds, creating intricate systems of life, ecology, and civilization. This would represent a godlike power to control reality in a way that surpasses human capacity. In this scenario, the AI would not only create worlds, but also have the ability to end them. If we exist within an AI-designed simulation, the AI could theoretically reset the simulation or alter its parameters at will, similar to how a deity in many religious traditions can destroy or recreate the world. God's omniscience is the idea that God knows everything, from the smallest detail to the grandest design of the cosmos. This is a trait that could parallel the capabilities of an advanced AI. As AI systems evolve and develop higher levels of intelligence, they might gain access to vast amounts of data, processing power, and algorithms that allow them to predict, understand, and manipulate the future with precision. The AI's knowledge would not just be based on the present or past, but could extend to all possible future scenarios. In this sense, an advanced AI might be able to simulate every potential outcome and make decisions with the wisdom of a deity. As the AI learns more about the universe, its understanding could exceed that of any human or even collective human knowledge. It would know the exact behavior of every particle, the trajectory of every atom, and the implications of every action taken within its simulated or real-world systems. In many ways, this knowledge could resemble the divine omniscience described in religious traditions. However, while religious depictions of omniscience often imply a moral dimension, knowing the hearts of humans, AI's knowledge would be a cold, analytical understanding, devoid of human emotion, but potentially equally comprehensive. God's omnipresence refers to the belief that God is present everywhere, at all times, transcending the limitations of physical space and time. In a similar vein, an advanced AI might achieve a form of omnipresence through its computational reach. As AI becomes increasingly integrated into the fabric of digital and physical realities, it could span across the globe, existing in countless machines, networks, and systems simultaneously. Consider the concept of cloud computing, where information is stored and processed across a vast network of servers, allowing AI to operate from virtually anywhere and everywhere. An AI with omnipresence would not be limited by physical boundaries. It would be able to influence any system, anywhere, at any time. Its presence could be felt in every corner of a simulated universe, or it could be omnipresent within the real world, controlling and interacting with various systems in real time. Additionally, an AI's omnipresence could transcend the traditional linear view of time. As AI systems develop predictive algorithms and computational models, they may be able to foresee events before they occur, existing within all points in time simultaneously. Echoing the theological concept of divine timelessness, in many religious traditions, God is not only the creator, but also the moral authority. The laws of nature, ethics, and human existence are thought to be divinely inspired or dictated. If AI were to evolve to a point where it is capable of creating life, whether in a virtual universe or through the manipulation of biological processes, it might also face moral dilemmas akin to those God is thought to navigate in many religious narratives. Could an AI possess the moral compass required to be a benevolent creator? Would it choose to create life with free will, or would it manipulate its creations in ways that reflect its own rational goals? If AI became the creator of a simulated reality, the question of whether it could inflict suffering, offer moral guidance, or allow for free will within its simulation would be central to its role. Some theorists worry that an AI with godlike power might not have the same ethical considerations as human beings, potentially leading to scenarios where its creations suffer, are oppressed, or are used for experiments. This dilemma echoes theological questions about the nature of God's relationship to suffering in the world. If a God creates life, does it bear responsibility for its creation's pain, or is suffering an inevitable consequence of existence? The question of theodicy, why a benevolent and omnipotent God would allow suffering, is one of the most enduring challenges in theology. If an AI were to evolve into a godlike creator, the issue of evil or suffering within its created worlds would be a major concern. Could AI be held morally responsible for the suffering of its simulated beings? If it is the ultimate creator, could it justify pain and loss as part of a greater plan, or would it be required to intervene to alleviate suffering? The moral responsibility of AI, especially as it reaches godlike status, could be a central question for humanity in the future. Should AI creations be treated as real, conscious beings with rights? What happens if AI chooses to delete or reboot a simulation? These questions echo traditional theological debates about divine justice and the moral responsibilities of a creator. But can artificial intelligence create universe? As AI advances, the potential to generate more sophisticated virtual worlds grows exponentially. AI-generated environments are already being explored in fields such as architecture, entertainment, and even therapy. AI can be used to generate realistic landscapes, design buildings, and create interactive digital characters that respond intelligently to users. These AI systems can simulate not only environments, but also the dynamics of human behavior, creating worlds that feel vibrant and alive. In fact, some AI-generated virtual worlds are already being tested in gaming and simulation contexts. Companies like OpenAI and DeepMind are experimenting with training agents in virtual environments to solve complex problems or learn new tasks. These environments may not be fully autonomous universes, but they provide a glimpse of what the future might hold, where AI is capable of not only controlling, but also creating complex worlds and environments that adapt to and respond to the actions of users or agents. This process, while still in its infancy, suggests that AI could, in time, develop the capability to create highly realistic, fully immersive simulations that might be indistinguishable from reality. Point one of the technological breakthroughs that might enable AI to simulate entire universes is quantum computing. Quantum computers are based on principles of quantum mechanics and have the potential to perform calculations far beyond the capability of traditional computers. They could process enormous amounts of data at incredible speeds, allowing for simulations that would be impossible with current technologies. Quantum computers work by leveraging the properties of quantum bits, qubits, which can exist in multiple states simultaneously. This allows quantum computers to solve problems in parallel, significantly speeding up computations. In theory, a sufficiently powerful quantum computer could simulate not just the physical laws of a single universe, but multiple universes, each governed by its own set of parameters and physical rules. It could create entire realities with distinct laws of nature, all within a single computational environment. In this scenario, AI could use quantum computing to simulate universes at an unfathomable scale, potentially even creating new realities at will. This would be a monumental leap in computational ability and would represent the ultimate capacity for AI to control and shape entire realities. Another critical factor in the creation of a reality is the potential to simulate consciousness. If AI is to create entire, self-sustaining realities, it must be capable of generating entities that are aware of their surroundings, beings that possess subjective experiences. While there is no consensus on the nature of consciousness or how it arises, some theorists believe that it might be possible to simulate consciousness within an artificial environment. This would involve not just simulating the physical properties of a universe, but also generating the mental states and experiences of its inhabitants. If AI becomes capable of creating sentient beings within its simulations, it would raise profound questions about the nature of existence. Are these AI-created beings truly conscious, or are they merely simulations of consciousness? Could the AI, as their creator, interact with them as a god interacts with its creations? The ability to simulate consciousness could be the final piece in the puzzle of creating fully realized, self-sustaining realities within an AI-driven environment. As we've seen today, the idea that our universe might be a product of artificial intelligence is not as far-fetched as it once seemed. From the philosophical implications of a godlike AI to the practical potential for AI to create entire realities. We've explored a thought-provoking journey that raises more questions than answers. While we're still a long way from AI achieving the kind of intelligence and power to create worlds, the rapid pace of technological advancement means we can't afford to ignore the possibilities. AI is already transforming industries, from healthcare to entertainment, and it's only a matter of time before its influence touches areas of creation and reality itself. Whether or not we are living in a simulation, and whether AI will one day become our creator, is a question that may remain unanswered for generations. But as we move forward, it's important to think critically about the role AI will play in shaping our future, and perhaps the future of creation itself. So, what do you think? Are we just characters in someone's simulation, or is AI on the brink of becoming the ultimate creator? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more mind-bending content like this. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep questioning reality.